What saves lives? What would you put in that blank to fill in the blank? Well, the answer to this question may surprise you as we study this week's True Crime Bible case, which is found in Genesis chapter 41. Now, this answer is not actually a word that is in this chapter. The answer comes from really munching on that spiritual food, really analyzing what's going on in this chapter, and really thinking about why people are responding the way they do. And so we're going to take a look at the environment that Pharaoh had in his workplace. He had an environment in place. And we're going to take a look at verse 8 in this chapter. In the morning, his mind was troubled, talking about Pharaoh's mind. So he sent for all the magicians and wise men of Egypt. Pharaoh told them his dreams, but no one could interpret them for him. And I want you to focus on the last part of that verse, but no one could interpret them for him. That's very interesting. Here is Pharaoh, not a follower of God. He is the leader of Egypt. And God is reaching out to him through his dreams. God is communicating to him. And the only people that can interpret that communication are true prophets. Something that he didn't have access to. He only had access to false prophets. And true prophets came from the nation of Israel. They could come from any of those 12 tribes. It was different than a priest, right? A priest, you were born into that. If you were born into the tribe of Levi, then you were part of that priesthood. But prophets were different. It could be from any kind of tribe within the nation of Israel. And he has got this problem. He's trying to get a solution to this problem. And the answer that his followers are giving him is an honest answer. Hey, Pharaoh, I wish I could interpret it, but I can't. They were honest. They didn't lie. They didn't act like they had a solution to Pharaoh's problems, but they told the truth. And that speaks volumes into what a pagan leader did, what kind of culture he created in his workplace. Wow. He was a man that couldn't stand lies. He hated them. He saw them as a waste of time. And furthermore, telling the truth is what saves lives. Because they found a solution to his problem, this dream interpretation. Since those false prophets were truthful, this pointed their direction into the prison cell. These false prophets said, I don't know the answer, but I heard of a guy who could translate God's message for you. And this guy is an inmate. He is a person who has been mislabeled by the justice system as a very dangerous person. He was truly a victim, serving time behind closed bars. His name was Joseph, and he interpreted Pharaoh's dream. It was 7 years of very good years for Egypt. Lots and lots of food in abundance. And the next 7 years, it was going to be awful. It was going to be the darkest time. And a way they were going to get through those 7 bad years is those first 7 years, they were going to have tons of food to eat and some to put back for the 7 bad years. A solution that helped them in this impossible situation. And Joseph was part of that solution. And those false prophets who were truthful to their leader, Pharaoh, I don't have an answer, that brought a solution too. And so we can look at telling the truth saves lives. Not lying saves lives. Because if those men, Pharaoh's right-hand men, if they had lied, then there would have been thousands and thousands to die. They would have been murderers. They wouldn't have done it directly, like somebody shooting a gun. They would have done it indirectly, just by acting like they had a solution, and they didn't. And they would have murdered all of those people. And so, wow, isn't this a great lesson for us to look at how dangerous lying is? How lying can lead to murder, can lead to the loss of human life. That's my spiritual food for you to munch on the rest of the week. I can't wait to see you next time.